Now, this is how you kick off Combine Week in Indianapolis. You send the Nuggets there, and you get a dub against a red-hot Pacers team. Nuggets, find a way. It wasn't easy. They didn't run away with it, but they held on to beat the Pacers 125-116. Contributions from everybody tonight. Welcome to Nuggets Live, brought to you by your Front Range Toyota stores. Nuggets shot lights out again. The offense, unstoppable when they play like this. Vic Lombardi and Chris Dempsey here in the Altitude Studios. The Nuggets move into second place in the Western Conference standings with that win. They're now half game against ahead of the Memphis Grizzlies. All right, I want to play a game with you. You know, we both watch the same game, so I'm going to throw this back and forth. Okay. Tell me, and when you catch this, tell me why the Nuggets won tonight.
They were the more physical team. 74 points in the paint. They just bludgeoned them. And we're not even talking about fast break points. There's only 13 of them. They got the ball into the paint, and they hammered them.
Role players. That's how Nikola Jokic got 19 dimes tonight. It wasn't all on him. He got help from every player, including the bench. Zeke Naji. How about his performance off the bench? Some critical shots, 14 points. That's how you win on the road.
It is how you win on the road, and you got to keep your mistakes down. And they were able to do that by and large in the second half. When they made them, they weren't live ball turnovers that were just going immediately back. But I just thought that they were more physical today, and that was the difference.
All right, no more of that game. Let's talk about the starters tonight. All starters scoring in double figures, and that is All In, presented by Ball Corporation. All In for the Nuggets. Aluminum. All in. I mean, look at the distribution there, Demps. That kind of distribution gets you dubs in the NBA.
Yeah, it really does. And it came at different points, right? I mean, Aaron Gordon with 16 points in the first half, Christian Brown with 10 points in the fourth quarter, Jamal Murray kind of sprinkled in throughout, and Nikola Jokic really got himself going in the second half as well. So, this game was kind of weird. You know, it had a lot of fits and starts, and so the Nuggets had needed performances from different guys at different junctures, and they got them.
Christian Brown took 11 shots. He made 7. He scored 10 points in the fourth quarter, a critical fourth quarter for the Nuggets. And the way he scored, he basically said, listen, I'm not going to let these little guards guard me down low. I'm just going to go to the rack.
Well, yeah, I just think this was like one of the most eye-opening things about this game, which is how much more physical the Nuggets are from top to bottom. Look at that. Just puts Tyrese Haliburton right on the court. And he plays a physical style of basketball. He wanted to play better than obviously he played against the Lakers. The Lakers really took him out of his running game. He got back to a lot of that in transition today, and then he was not to be denied when he got there. I mean, it's one thing to get to the rim. It's another thing to finish against these great athletes.
Similarly, Michael Porter Jr. did not have his best effort against the Lakers on Saturday, but tonight, you know what? He did whatever it takes, and that's the kind of performance we ask of Michael Porter Jr. If the jumper's not fouling or falling down, go to the hole. He had a couple nice dunks in that game in traffic.
Oh, my gosh.
His second half was tremendous.
It really was. And, look, there are a couple of plays that I think are emblematic of what you're talking about, Vic. One was just kind of backing down. Again, this is the third quarter. He's just backing down a guy all the way to the rim. And it really just set that physical tone. That was a really nice cut right there. He is able to get to the paint, and this, come on, man, that's how you take the ball to the rack. Oh man, that one made my heart very happy to see him be able to do that. But he played a lot more physically in that second half, a lot more determination, and he was rewarded.
Time now for the Path to Victory, brought to you by Pathwater, the exclusive water partner of the Denver Nuggets. When the Nuggets score in the paint, the Nuggets win. I mean, look at the disparity there. Only 30 versus the Lakers. They more than doubled that tonight in Indy.
Yeah, and I just think that this was you guys aren't big enough to handle us thing tonight. I mean, and it started with Aaron Gordon, right? Aaron Gordon set the physical tone right off the bat, and he was just running right through Pascal Siakam all night long. And then everybody else took that physical tone. Look at that, Russell Westbrook just getting a little elbow up in there. You're not going to stop Nikola Jokic anywhere. And then you got Michael Porter Jr. working the glass. And so this was an area where the Nuggets knew they had an advantage. I mean, the Indiana Pacers are a scrappy team. You heard Aaron Gordon talk about this afterwards. They're a very scrappy basketball team, very athletic basketball team. If you let them get to athleticism and speed and quickness and quick hands and all that, now you have problems in this game. But if you can kind of get that tamped down a little bit and then lean on them the entirety of a game, you can have this type of result.
Broncos coach Sean Payton was at the game tonight. They rented out a suite, the Broncos did, and watched the game sort of as a media event. When we come back, I want to hear what Sean Payton had to say about Nikola Jokic, what he thinks Nikola can do if he played football. You don't want to miss this. They played a lot of football tonight, and the Nuggets were bigger and badder. Payton at the game tonight. Katie Wingy had to ask, what do you think about Nikola Jokic playing football, huh?
You're obviously a great evaluator of talent. I have to talk about how much you've seen of Nikola Jokic because he's had some on-target passes, some on-target full-court shots. What do you think of his vision and quarterback ability?
I like it. I see a tight end, though. I don't see a quarterback. And so I think that's the reason Mike's kept me away from the warm-up here. We probably can't pay him as much as he gets paid. But, no, obviously you see – it's one thing to pass, and you also see someone who catches and has got real soft hands. And I think what's very underrated or never discussed is how someone can accept a pass. Some people don't have natural ball skills, and he seems to have that. And then the other thing we were just discussing, like his stamina and his availability each night, he's got that recovery that a lot of players don't have.
All right, so you heard it here first. Tight end, not a quarterback.
The spot, but I'm not going to start any. Yeah, you'll get me in trouble.
Appreciate your time, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
All the respect in the world, Coach, but this is our QB1. I mean, when he wasn't scoring tonight, he finished with 18 points. He was diming left and right. A career high, 19 assists, one shy of the 20 mark. I mean, that's a quarterback. It's my quarterback.
Yeah, dimes all night long, dimes. And look, his scoring didn't really come until the second half. But early on, even when the Nuggets were off to the good start, he had like 7 assists in the first quarter, I think, something like that. And so he was very dialed in on getting the ball, spreading the wealth, just like a QB1.
18 points, 19 assists, 9 rebounds, so 1 rebound shy of another triple-dub. But let's not forget, 4 steals, led both teams in steals tonight. That is Nikola Jokic. When we come back on Nuggets Postgame Live, we'll hear from his actual coach, Michael Malone. Got to be happy. Good rebound win tonight. Welcome back to Nuggets Postgame Live. The Nuggets 125-116 over the Pacers tonight. Back in the saddle again. Tonight's coach's comments presented by Advent Health, reminding us to never underestimate the human spirit.
So when that fourth quarter went down, you guys had talked about how difficult of a road trip this would be. What does it say about the grit of your team to be able to find a way to get that done?
Yeah, I mean, you think about the first half, both Aaron and Jamal have it going, and they have to go to the bench because of the early foul trouble. And, at halftime, we talked about too many turnovers and too many free throw attempts for them. And obviously, it didn't get much better in the second half in those two areas. But I thought we had a lot of guys step up tonight and play really good basketball, Katie. Aaron Gordon, 25 points in 23 minutes of action. Jamal was really good. CB down the stretch in that fourth quarter, 2-man game with Nikola. Michael, 19 and 11. And I thought Zeke Naji off the bench was just really, really good. And some really good defensive possessions, knocked down some big shots. And we knew this road trip was going to be a challenge. And to respond to a tough home loss to the Lakers and start this road trip off with the win speaks a lot about our guys understanding what time of the year it is and handling their business.
I'm not going to let many more questions go through without us asking about Nikola, because I feel like we oftentimes will go the whole press conference without talking about him. So the 19 assists tonight, what can you say about what he's able to accomplish on the floor?
Well, I mean, if you're a player that has no weakness, there is not one chink in that armor. The guy is just an amazing, complete basketball player. And I think the most remarkable thing is not just the 19 assists, but the satisfaction and joy that Nikola gets from making his teammates better. I mean, like, he'd be happy getting 19 assists, no points, and us winning than any other superstar that I've ever come across. And that speaks to who he is. He's a humble person and understands that this whole thing is always much bigger than the individual. It's the collective. But, 19, another, what is that, a Sombor double? Is that what they call it? 18, 19, and 9. He's got to lead the universe in those the last 10 years. But he's just an incredible player. And what a luxury to have when you can just play through him down the stretch of a close game and you know something good is going to happen each and every time.
What do you like about his defensive activity?
He was my defensive player of the game tonight. Could have gone to Zeke Naji, could have gone to Christian Brown. I thought CB taking on the assignment to guard Tyrese Halliburton. I thought CB was outstanding, but that team runs a million pick and rolls. And Nikola's levels, his 9 defensive rebounds, his 4 steals, his 1 block, his deflections, and his communication, I felt were just really important for us to hold them to 45% in that second half and pull away with the win.
Coach, it's obviously a long road trip, but you got to look, or I guess how much do you love a better start because the last one went great out of the gate, I guess.
Yeah, obviously, this time of the season, especially, and understanding we've been a really good road team. That has to continue to be the case down this stretch. 24 games to go now, I believe. And to bounce back after a loss, you don't want to stack losses. You want to stack wins. And it was good to get that bad taste out of our mouth. We watched the film, we owned it, and we went out there and beat a team that's been playing really good basketball. And so we're not going to celebrate because we know we have a tremendous challenge in Milwaukee coming up. And we're just going to take this 4-game trip, 1 game at a time.
Do you think Zeke can reach a point where he can contribute in bits and pieces in the playoffs? Or what do you kind of need to see from him to get to that?
Well, I mean, I just, without getting too far ahead of ourselves, just continue to be present, continue to be in the moment. And I think Zeke's done that. Ever since Payton Watson went out, Zeke's been called upon, and you're always happy for any player to have success. But Zeke is such a remarkable young man. He really is. And he's such a good person. And you want to see guys like that have success. When called upon, he stayed ready. He's gone out there and done his job, and he's shown that he belongs out there. And so I have all the confidence in the world. If I have to call upon Zeke Naji at any point the remainder of this season, I feel really confident about doing that, and so do his teammates. And I think that's even more important.
Another guy again.
What a turnaround for this young man. I mean, early in the season, never saw the floor, never got any minutes. Now, he's getting critical minutes. 14 points off the bench, led all bench scores for the Nuggets tonight.
Yeah, he's played in 10 straight games now. He's got double-digit points in 3 of his last 5. And you know what? Look, I think a couple of things with Zeke Naji. One, he's stayed healthy. What he has done one of the unfortunate things that has happened over the course of his career is that once he starts playing well, he gets injured, and then the whole process starts over again.
And he's playing the 4 instead of the 5.
Yeah, yes, correct. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge, and he has said so.
I mean, he's getting the opportunity to work from the outside and the inside. I mean, heck, in this game tonight, he made a 3. How many threes did he make? He made 1, and then 1 that was almost a 3. He had his foot on the line, so he's starting to get his jump shot down. If you can get those kind of minutes from Zeke Naji.
Yeah, well, and he started his career being able to hit the 3-point shot with some regularity.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not foreign territory for him to be able to knock in a 3-point shot. Look, you go through ups and downs in terms of your confidence with your shot, or if you're tweaking it or whatever you're doing with it. Looks like he's in a really good confidence space, but I think it really does begin, though, with his ability to really play effectively around the rim, get a bunch of high percentage looks, and now a confident player steps out to the 3-point line and knocks out.
What did Marlo say when he made that 3? What did he say? Zeke freak? Is that what he said?
That's what he said.
He was holding that one for a long time. More in store here on Postgame Live, brought to you by your Front Range Toyota stores. Zeke freak, everybody!
Stop it.